Welcome to the WAC Basketball Preview Days presented by Hercules Tires. I'm Kendra Sheehan, joined by the Seattle U men's basketball program head coach Jim Hayford in his 5th season with the Red Hawks, the birthday man, Darian Trammell, sophomore guard, all WAC first team last year, and Riley Grigsby, the junior guard, second team all WAC last year. Thank you all for joining me. Coach, I'm going to start with you returning all 5 of your starters, including 2 of the top leading scorers in the conference. How dynamic can this offense be?
Well, I hope crazy dynamic, huh? We can be a real hard team to guard. You know, we probably play a little different than a lot of most of the rest of the WAC, and we shoot the ball from 3 a lot. We attack the rim, we spread the court, we turn it downhill, score points. Fun form of basketball to play. It's a fun form of basketball to watch. It's a lot better to watch if we can shoot the 3 ball a little better than we did last year. So we're looking to improve that. We've added some good shooters, and our guys have improved. And so we're excited that we're able to keep our group together. We still only have 1 senior, and I feel like our guys are on a mission to really do something special with Seattle U basketball, and they're a close group. They're into it together. We're excited about getting into Climate Pledge. For 3 years, we were kind of a homeless basketball team, but we got our arena back, and so it's just a great time to be a part of Seattle U basketball. And these 2 guys who are with me are a real big part of it, and we're excited to attack the season.
What have the 2 men sitting beside you brought to this program, and what are your expectations of them coming into this year?
My expectation of Riley and DT is really the same as all my players, which is to be your very best. Be your very best in the classroom, be your very best in the community, be your very best at practice every day on the court, and just to keep pushing that standard up. So, you know, with Riley being a 4th-year junior who's, you know, started games since his freshman year, he's been a big part of that, and he's just an absolute joy to coach, be around, because he really buys into that philosophy of being your best. DT, which happy birthday to DT over here, had a breakout season. You know, a big part of his story is from a place called Marin City that's just north of San Francisco, and he feels like everything he does is a representation of where he's come from, and to be a shining light back to that community of people younger than him. And I think that motivates him to be his best all the time. He's got a chip on his shoulder. I think he was underrated. He just needed a chance to get to Division I basketball and show what he is about, which he did last year. And he's a great team leader. And so this next recognition with him as the preseason player of the year in the conference, I think, is something that's well earned. I think he's mature enough to handle that, to not really let it affect him, but to just keep motivating him to be his very best. And so they're both absolutely great guys. They both get it done in the classroom. Our team GPA is a 3.6, and these guys are guys that are well over 3.0 students at a really hard academic school. And so I'm all about these guys.
And Darian, turning the big 21 today. How much fun is it to celebrate your birthday with the guys that you have in the locker room, doing what you love, playing basketball?
It's great. It just makes my birthday much better. I get to celebrate with my guys and doing what I love. So it's a great birthday.
Coach had talked about your breakout season that you had. Where do you feel like you've grown the most as a player?
I think my leadership was the biggest thing that I needed to grow in. Being more consistent leader and getting my teammates involved and having the balance between points and assists, and not just taking hard shots, making sure I have a balance between the 2, and cutting down my turnovers as well, and just being an extension of coach. I feel like that's always a place to grow as a player.
Darian, you and Riley put on an offensive clinic last season. How lethal do you think that you 2 can be on the floor this year? What have you really worked on in the offseason to improve the dynamic between you 2?
I think just understanding each other's spacing and where we like the ball. I think that was the biggest thing for us, especially having a year under our belt. I feel like we have a good understanding of each other, not only as players, but as people. So I feel like we got closer, which always helps the game between team chemistry and for each other. So I think mostly overall, it was our understanding of each other as men.
And on paper, it seems like you have numerous shooters on this team. How tough is it going to be for other teams to slow this Red Hawks offense down?
It's going to be really tough, really tough. We just got to do it at a consistent level, and I feel like we can be that top team. So.
In 2019, you were injured for a bit, and then last year you led the team in scoring 8 times. How much further are you planning to take your game this season?
Oh, sorry. Mr.
Right.
Riley?
Yes.
I'm just gonna do what I did last year. Be aggressive, take open shots. I know I'm gonna make the shots, so I got extreme confidence in myself. So I'm gonna keep doing what I did last year.
Coach, you brought in some height in the off season. How has your team had to adjust to some of the limited size that you do have available on the roster?
It's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's how much fight's in that dog, and our guys love to go out and fight. And so I thought Emeka had a great year last year as an undersized post, and so bringing in Brant brings some size. We'll have some, our team health was really challenged last year. Nate Robinson really didn't get to kind of play free till maybe the last 2 weeks of the season. Had a breakout game in our victory over Cal Baptist at the conference tournament, and so Nate brings some size to his position. And then Brant, who came over from Washington State, he can bang with those big guys, and that's something that we didn't have last year. That helps us a lot. We were able to go on a foreign tour this summer, so we got extra practices. We got some games in together, and I just think that this group is in a really good spot to go be competitive, and how we play, and when we play with smaller lineups. A lot of these schools, even some of the new Texas schools, they also play small too. Grand Canyon was kind of a unique team last year. Utah Valley had big guys. And so I think that this year it's going to be a little more wide open across the WAC.
You recently had the opportunity to speak on the topic of leadership at Joint Base. How much of an emphasis do you place on teaching the guys in the locker room the importance of leadership and how to become a great leader?
Well, great. That was a great day going down and working with all those soldiers. The invitation kind of came out of the blue. And basically what we worked with and talked with the soldiers are the kinds of things that we talk about in our program every single day. And so I just feel like leadership is always the problem, and leadership is always the answer. And it first starts with how well you're leading yourself. And so all of our guys are leaders. I think when you look across the WAC, there's just some amazing coaches, and I have a lot of respect for the leadership of the other head coaches in the WAC. This is my 5th year at Chris, New Mexico State. It's his 5th year. We're the new guys, and now we're the guys who've been the longest in the WAC. And I've seen some great coaches come through the conference in those 5 years. And then the addition now of some really great coaches. So that leadership is a lens I look at everything I do through.
And Coach, the opportunity to play in a new arena, Climate Pledge Arena, what opportunity, excitement does that provide for this program?
Well, it's super exciting. I mean, it's the newest, greatest arena. It's $1 billion, right? So I'm glad we didn't have to fundraise that, And so, I mean, it's just out of this world. They had a concert in there last night. Some of my friends were at, and they were just blown away. They were talking about the building more than the concert. We work around the Seattle Kraken NHL team's schedule, but this is built to host and will host an NBA team, and so to be in that mix is fantastic. Some of the leadership that's part of that management is also on our board of trustees here, so we got a great partnership, and it's just really, really exciting for our program to be able to play in one of the greatest arenas in the country.
Darian, especially with last season and not a lot of fans allowed in the stands, getting the chance to play inside this arena, how much does that excite you for the season ahead?
I'm really excited. I think the crowd can play a huge positive effect on our play. I feel like it'll bring us up. And us not having fans last year, I feel like we had a lot of fight, but I feel like having that arena and those fans around would just boost us up even more.
You had 45 steals last season. How much of an emphasis do you place on getting back and defending?
I feel like that's what makes me different from a lot of guards. I like to dig in and guard, and I feel like my defensive coach definitely puts me in great positions to be successful on the defensive end.
And Riley, you had to step into a much bigger role last season as one of the only starters back from the previous year. This year, you get all 5 of your starters back. How does that change your role and what you're expected to do on the floor this year?
It definitely helps because last year we didn't have anyone. Everyone was new, so I had to steer the ship, teach everyone where to go, put us in the right direction to win. But now this year, everyone's returning. Everyone knows our expectations, what we got to do to win. So that definitely makes it a lot easier on me. I can just go out there and play, but I still got to lead these guys to the elite level.
Coach Hayford, Darian, Riley, thank you so much for joining me. Happy birthday again. Appreciate all the time. Good luck this season. We'll be cheering you on. I'm going to turn it over to Chris Thompson, who's going to allow the rest of the media to ask you all some questions.